This guy's. First of all, that's called Chicago Tavern Cut. So you've had Chicago pizza there. No one has ever referred to Columbus style pizza. Ever.
It's well known. It's in this paper.
Anyway, Lou Malnati's is opening a location there in Columbus, Ohio. So they said that's going to be one of their first locations their first location in Ohio. For people who have ever had it. And again, on my recommendation, I've had people tell me I was full of crap, and then I say, well, order one and tell me what you think. And of course, invariably, they love it.
It's very good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I really liked it when, and I appreciate. I think the reason I liked it the most is that you paid for it.
It was free.
But I did. I bought him a pie.
But it was great. It was really good, though.
And, and again, if you didn't like it, a lot of people go, like my wife. And again, growing up, I was not a deep dish guy. That is most closely associated with Chicago pizza. But it's really not, people aren't falling over themselves to get to what is essentially a doorstop of cheese.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I fully understand why people don't like it. Again, we grew up eating tavern cut pizza, but Alan, we don't have
Columbus style.
I'm sorry, Columbus style pizza.
You grew up eating Columbus style pizza.
That's right. Little did I know. Alan, we don't have kids, and I always get my wife something for Mother's Day because she's a cat mom.
Well, that's like a whole battle going on too, where pet moms are like, I love my fur babies, and people are like, you didn't do anything.
Well, you didn't. Things either mean something or they don't. I mean, this guy's like, I don't want her to feel left out. Listen, whatever your life is, that's totally fine. But listen, she didn't pay her admission price, all right? She didn't squeeze a cabbage out of her spam cabinet, Mary. That's all I'm saying, right?
I understand.
Cat mom.
Well, neither did your mom. Your mom had you removed.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, all four of us were removed.
You were removed.
Yes. So. But she had children in her body, is what I'm saying. Yes.
But I'm just saying
she didn't give birth to a cat. Now again, maybe
using your words.
This woman may have given birth to the cat. I don't know how likely that is. I can only suss out so much because
you don't have to push the baby through the spam cabinet.
Gross.
Bill, I'm just trying to get spam cabinet happening, okay?
I'm just trying to make you associate it with your mother.
Thank you. No, you're right. You're right. They don't all. I didn't come out that way. We were all lifted out. That's right. I was lifted out at top speed and was dead when I emerged. But yeah,
really?
once you slice a woman open. Now I don't know if this is the case anymore, but in 1971, a cesarean section was considered major surgery. Mine was an emergency C-section. My mom was hemorrhaging. They had to get me to the hospital, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you're a giant baby.
Giant baby,
and your mom's not a big lady.
No. My sister was 9 3/4, and she was the lightest out of all four of us.
Good God.
So I don't know if it's still the case that once you have a C-section, they ain't coming out the natural way anymore. Maybe that's different now. I don't know. Things have, medicine has progressed. But once they had to cut my mom open to pull me out, they were like, well, if you have more kids, then you got to have it the same way. Down the line, she's like, it's actually kind of cool because you can schedule when you have your kid.
Yeah, pick their birthday.
You don't have to be like, hey, all right, Obviously, I don't have to tell you what the vast preponderance of our customers' opinion is on your situation.
I can't wait for her to be single. Her boyfriend's going to leave her so soon.
Not a lot of bitch stuff.
What?
Just that this thing's going to implode.
Yeah.
But it seems to me Why would it? You could. I mean, that's a silly question. But you guys seem to be, so far, this is how you guys navigate things.
We're trying, dude. It's been really hard.
Yes.
Moving in together has not been easy at all. Like when people are like, oh, it's domestic bliss. You get to see so much of each other. I'm like, this has been...
Those are people without kids.
An incredibly
you guys
difficult
have a
few
kid.
months. Yeah.
Yes. So people who are just like, let's move in together. That's completely different. You're out doing your own thing when you want to, and you don't, You guys are in a different situation. You're adults with careers with a kid in the mix. Right. That's a very different thing. It's a different thing.
And can I just reiterate that I didn't attack him? Before everyone's like, I can't believe Mary brought this on her. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I was eating my strawberries and he asked me where they came from. I didn't come in blazing fire, yelling at the top of my lungs, you ungrateful, nothing. It wasn't anything like that.
But you responded to him in a way that changed the tone of the conversation. He said, where'd you get those? And you said, my sister's got them for me for Mother's Day. Uh-huh. And he said, oh man, should I have gotten you something? And you, normally I would think, would have been, no. They just all have kids, and they realize what's going on with us, and they thought of it. What you said was, do you think you should have gotten me something?
I wanted to know what
that changes the tone of the conversation. Yeah, but if he thought he should, he would have.
I guess.
You already knew the answer to it. You were trying to get something else.
I don't know what I was trying to get. I wasn't trying to start a fight. But if you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. I wasn't going to say anything. But if you ask me how I feel, and this is a pattern, I feel like I shouldn't even.
He didn't ask you how you felt. He asked if he should have gotten you something.
That's saying, do you think I should have gotten you something? And if I'm feeling like it would have been nice for you to say something.
But at the beginning of the day, you didn't feel that way. Your sisters put that seed in your head, and then by the end of the day, this is all unfortunate timing, because if he had asked you in the morning, you would have said, no.
Mm-hmm.
He asked you at the end of the day, after all these thoughts your sisters put in,
not even all the thoughts that my sisters put in, but it was just like...
Your sisters are the three women around the cauldron. Bubble, bubble, toil, and trouble. They're the Stygian witches, and they're stirring this thing, and Mary's face comes up in the froth, and they go, Ah.
Whatever.
Listen, I don't think anybody did anything wrong.
I'm not mad at him, and I made that very clear to him last night. I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you.
He's like, oh, well, the sex is going to be different.
It's not even
I'm not mad at you.
No, it was just like this is already a difficult situation to navigate. And I can't be the only person who feels weird and like in an in-between stuck spot.
Here's what you do next time you're in this kind of conversation. You go, I think I want to adopt.
Yeah, right.
just throw that at him.
Need more kids.
Yeah.
That'll help. I'm
Watch
still leaving
the color.
on weekends.
Watch what little color he's got drain from his face as you tell him that.
And I asked him, I said, sometimes I don't even know how to refer to her. I said, do you want me to refer to her as our kid, as our daughter, as your daughter, as my boyfriend's daughter? I don't know.
Yes,
what
my
to
boyfriend's
say.
daughter.
But I
because
feel
that's
like
who she is.
I understand that, but I don't know. It's a very strange feeling that I never thought this many emotions would come with loving for a child that is not yours.
I understand. Because
it almost makes me feel like when everyone's like, you're not her mom, it's like, well, then why am I doing any of the things that I'm doing for her?
Well,
if the whole world's going to look at me like, you're not her mom anyway.
But that doesn't... First of all, why do you care what people think? Second of all, none of what somebody might say diminishes the kindness behind what you're doing. None of that is diminished. Whatever you do is not diminished by people going, ah.
But do you know how... you don't. Bill does. Do you know how hard it is to take care of a kid that you didn't have and then have people negate that? That is very difficult.
But she's not there every day.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
How does that matter?
If you have a kid, you're taking care of a kid every day. That's a very different thing.
So if I were to see her more, it would make a difference in the amount of love that I have and the amount of care and affection that I give her?
It's just a matter of an amount of time spent with anyone will change the dynamic of the relationship.
Right.
Especially with a child. You got to remember, my children did not grow up with me. So it was I saw them a lot. My ex-wife and I split up when my son was 4 and my daughter was 6 months old.
It's crazy.
This is all she's known. She's going to graduate high school in a couple of weeks. And I'm always so like hyper focused on my daughter because I've never been like there every day for my daughter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gwen and our daughter is 6, and I'm doing all these things for the first time with my daughter, which simultaneously bums me out for my older daughter, but it is what it is. You know, I was always around my older kids. I was there all the time. So they never wondered like, oh, we haven't seen dad in 6. You know, I was reading this article on Tom Cruise. He hasn't seen, well, they said he hasn't been photographed with his daughter, with Katie Holmes. But they basically implied that he hasn't seen her in about 10 years. Which I don't know how you even get around that. Again, this isn't about me, but I mean, you know, I think you guys moving in together, there's a lot of things moving around that are gonna move around.
Here's my advice to you.
Did you think you'd come out with chocolate-covered strawberries and he wouldn't ask you?
No, but what am I going to do? Have you ever tried to eat a chocolate-covered strawberry? They're a disaster. They're a mess.
And I've tried. I haven't succeeded.
I'm not going to go eat it on the brand new couch. Yeah, right. So
maybe he was going to get you something, and then he goes, oh, right.
At 10 o'clock at night?
I'm sitting in cat pee.
He wasn't sitting in cat pee.
Oh.
No, it's just a very emotional thing that I did not expect to be. I did not expect to feel this way. I did not expect to be.
I understand.
And here's my advice.
It sounds like it kind of surprised yourself, right?
There's a deeper part of it too, because
I
cannot.
All right.
I've been doing so much therapy lately about my dad, and when I experience things, sure, I'm a parent every other weekend, and you can diminish that however you want, and you can say it's not real, you can say I don't spend enough time with her to feel like a mom, whatever you want to say, that's fine. But experiencing frustrations in whatever parenting role that I have, or reliving situations that I remember having with my parents and then wanting to call my dad and not being able to do it, to say, hey, I remember when I was a dick at the circus. I'm really sorry about that. Like, there's a lot going on experiencing parenting for the first time and not being able to talk to your parent about it.
Yeah.
That is so freaking hard.
Yeah. Bill, your thoughts?
What I was going to say is when it comes to this situation with your daughter and your stepdaughter, whatever you want to call her, that's the relationship that is most important, and where you're going to find the most happiness by how you guys feel about each other. So it's not necessarily about how Brian feels or about how her mom feels, but building a bond with her is going to happen over time. And that's when you'll get the appreciation. And she's also very young right now. And this is the first time. She's never been through anything like this, really. So I think you will get there to a point where she will see, like, oh, not only do I have my mom, I have Mary, who is like another mom to me. And she'll see the importance. And it's going to come a lot later.
I'm not even upset about that.
Just refer to her as your roommate's kid.
I'm not saying... Yeah. I'm not saying that's what you are upset about, but I'm saying that's what makes all the things that you are upset about go away, because you get to be in that person's life and be special to them, and it takes time, and it's going to send you through very emotional situations that are very difficult to deal with. But then you get a whole new level of emotional maturity that you can help shape this young human's life. So it takes time, and it is difficult, but eventually that bond that you'll have with her becomes its own thing separate from what you have with her dad.
Do you remember when Bill said he didn't want anything for his birthday? And then we didn't get anything for his birthday, and he was upset.
This didn't even come up, though. I didn't say I didn't want anything.
Huh?
I didn't say, hey, don't tell me you appreciate me.
You told your sisters... Well, anyway, we're just rehashing one.
I get it. Yeah. No, I guess what's just feeling unappreciated, or feeling like the things that I do don't matter because I didn't give birth to her. That's what sucks. That's what I'm finding extremely difficult to deal with, because it's like, yes, she is not my kid, but I still treat her like she is when I'm there.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like, she woke up sick the other morning at 5 a.m, and I stayed up with her all morning, and I did all the things that a mom would do. And so for people that say horrible, mean things like that, like, oh, we can't wait for your boyfriend to break up with you, or this thing's gonna implode because I care. If I didn't care about this relationship, or I didn't care about the daughter, I wouldn't say anything.
Who says they can't wait for your boyfriend to break up
Everybody.
With you? Oh. People you know?
No.
Oh, strangers.
Yes.
Oh, dumb strangers. I see.
It's just hard. I never expected this many emotions to come with.
But you have to understand, those people that are saying that probably are carrying some baggage because they had a step-parent in their life that wasn't doing that stuff for them. So they want to lash out at you because they see you doing it, and they go, you're just going to leave like the person that I was trying to form a bond with did. Or, I mean, look at the way Poundcake's relationship with his stepdad. That was terrible. And so he thinks of these situations in a much different way because it was such a negative experience for him. And so these people that are lashing out at you, that are, they listen to the show for entertainment, and they want to get you upset.
Yeah,
it's not, yeah.
As though that's entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really entertaining.
But there are people that have their own issues, and they go after people, and it's usually a reflection of trauma that they went through.
Well, Mary, I will say the role of a step parent is a thankless one. I mean, with my stepdad, he didn't do very much. So it's not like I would thank him anyways, but I really didn't thank him because he didn't go to one parent-teacher conference. He never bought gifts for Christmas. He never bought my mom a gift for Valentine's Day. Like, it was things like that where it was just, he went out of his way to not be a present figure in our lives when we could have used it. So your present...
Well, yeah, if he wasn't even like treating your mom all that well.
Yeah.
He's certainly not going to treat you guys well.
So I've had a bad taste in my mouth about step parents because I'm like, because I had the feeling like, oh, well, they're not going to do anything. They don't have to do. They're not going to extend themselves. They already got their own kids. They're not going to be bothered with. I'm just a plus one to my mother. And that's how I thought of it. But Mary, your role is just to be present. So not necessarily get presents, but just be present. So
not to get presents.
So
no Poundcakeism.
I can understand why she feels upset, because when you do pour your heart and soul into like a relationship and you open like the kid into your life as well, it means something. It's a very hard thing to
genetic parenthood is a thankless job, all right? Even if it is your kid, it's completely thankless. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether it's your kid or not, it's thankless.
But it also doesn't feel great to try to come into the game late when personalities and relationships and dynamics are already developed.
Yeah.
And try to find your spot in it. And then to have it not acknowledged, that sucks.
Doesn't happen right away. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And
it does suck.
It's hard. That's it. It's just very hard. And to navigate it without being able to call my dad has made it 1,000 times harder.
You know what's going to make you feel better?
$1,000.
I'm going to give somebody $1,000 on the way back. And I have Marcel from New York on hold.
Mondays with Marcel.
Okay, so one thing's going to make us feel better.
I'll take a break and let you flip a coin and figure out which one. Next chance for you to grab $1,000 is on the way at 3:30. For you to go fund yourself. After the break, I'll have those Hailstorm tickets for you. You want to see Lizzie Hale and the boys, Pretty Reckless on that show too. July 13th out at Blossom if you want to go. 35192 if you want to text, and we'll be back.